She left me at the altar for the 7th time. I finally got the message. After Rachel stood me up at the courthouse for the 7th time, I cut her out of my life completely. If she showed up at parties, I left. When she performed at our college reunion, I walked out before her act. When my company announced a partnership with hers, I quit on the spot. Even on New Year's Eve, when she came to my parents' house, I made excuses and disappeared. Phone blocked. Social media deleted. Complete radio silence. For 30 years, I'd spent most of my life obsessed with her, taking care of her, loving her. It took being stood up 7 times to finally wake up. Being alone was better than waiting in an empty apartment for someone who'd never show up. I waited at the courthouse until they closed. At first, Rachel said she was busy, asked me to wait. 2 hours later, her phone went straight to voicemail. The marriage license application crumpled in my fist. Sir, we're closing now. Do you still need to file for marriage? The clerk had watched me wait all day. I shook my head. No. Thank you. I'm done. Walking out, I heard whispers from the staff. I've seen him before. Always comes alone. Yeah, I remember now. Always waiting for someone who never shows. I couldn't lift my head, shame burning through me as I quickened my pace. This was the 7th time I'd waited for Rachel at the courthouse. Just as I left to call an Uber, Rachel appeared. She jogged over, slightly breathless, apology written on her face. I'm so sorry, Connor. Work emergency. Am I too late? I laughed silently. Last time, work emergency. Time before that, work emergency. Every single time work emergency. You're late. They just closed. Rachel checked her watch, then exploded with righteous anger. These government workers. Always rushing home at 5 sharp. Can't wait 1 minute for taxpayers. She grabbed my hand, pressing it against her heaving chest. Look, I ran all the way here. I'm exhausted. I stared at her, fighting back tears. Nobody's that stupid. If she really ran here, why wasn't there a single drop of sweat? Her forehead was completely dry. Not even damp. For the first time, I called her out. If you ran here, why aren't you sweating? Her expression darkened instantly. She pulled back, voice rising. What's that supposed to mean? You think I'm lying? That I'm deliberately avoiding marrying you? I ran until I could barely breathe, and you don't believe me? Connor Matthews, I never knew you were this cold. Her overreaction screamed guilt. I rubbed my temples, suddenly exhausted. Rachel, you know the truth. I turned to leave. Her cold voice followed. Fine. Don't come crawling back, begging me to marry you. Let's see how long you last this time. I didn't look back, though my lips bled from biting them. 2 steps away, my phone buzzed. Connor, another failed attempt? Such a shame. Looking forward to your 8th proposal. Derek. I read it 3 times. Even someone as dense as me understood the mockery. Derek knew exactly why. Rachel kept standing me up. Rachel and I were childhood sweethearts. I'd declared I'd marry her when we were kids. Our parents had laughed, delighted. She'd always treated me like family. Until college, when she brought Derek home for the first time. Their intimacy made me realize her affection for me wasn't romantic. I panicked. After graduation, I jokingly suggested we get married. Both families approved, but Rachel refused completely. For 7 years, I'd proposed dozens of times. She'd only agreed 7 times. And stood me up every time. Each time, Derek would send a gloating text. My phone buzzed again. I thought it was Derek, but it was my friend Mike. There was a party tonight. Was I coming? Without thinking, I asked, is Rachel going? Don't worry, Connor. I know your situation. I already told her you'd be there. Then I'm not coming. She's there, I'm not. Mike went silent, shocked. Everyone knew I'd chased Rachel for years. Sent her flowers at graduation. Found her the perfect job. Cleaned her apartment. Cooked her meals. Once, at a birthday party, someone said she was lucky to have me. Rachel had scoffed. Like a pathetic puppy. Annoying. Who cares? I hadn't cared then, thinking she'd change. Now I cared. After hanging up, I sent a group message to all our mutual friends. From now on, if Rachel's invited somewhere, don't invite me. Done with that, I went home. After showering, I packed everything of Rachel's. Put it all in a suitcase and called a delivery service. Mike showed up just as the delivery guy arrived. Seeing the packed suitcase, he blurted, Connor, you're not leaving town, are you? I laughed, opening the suitcase. Just returning Rachel's things. Mike stared for a moment, then looked at the delivery guy taking everything away, disbelief on his face. But weren't you supposed to marry Rachel today? Why suddenly? He stopped mid-sentence, understanding dawning. His eyes blazed. Did she stand you up again? Is Derek behind this? I'll go talk sense into her. Despite my protests, Mike dragged me to their party venue. Outside the private room, we heard Rachel's voice. Stop teasing me. Connor said harsh things before. He always comes crawling back. He's just mad. Once he cools down, he'll be following me around like always. I bit the inside of my cheek until I tasted blood. All my years of devotion meant nothing to her. Mike saw my red eyes and patted my shoulder. He was about to burst in when I stopped him. I couldn't even look at Rachel anymore. As we turned to leave, Rachel and Derek emerged from the room. Derek spoke first. Rachel, you're drunk. Don't say things like that. Connor would be heartbroken. You wanted him heartbroken. Making me agree to marry him then stand him up every time. You're so mean. My tears finally fell. I was just a joke, a game between them. No wonder Rachel never seemed happy when she agreed to marry me. I'd been too blinded by joy to notice her contempt. Derek pulled her close, playfully hitting her chest. You started this game. I was just trying to make you happy. They started making out right there in the hallway. I felt numb, letting Mike lead me out. The cool night air seemed to freeze my heart solid. Connor, you're too nice. That's why they keep playing with you. Mike ranted, but I just smiled faintly. When I spoke, my mouth filled with blood. It's over. Rachel and I are done forever. After getting Mike home, I returned to my apartment. The delivery service Khalid arrived but couldn't reach the recipient. I remembered Rachel never answered unknown numbers. Wait there. I called Rachel. She was at a bar, music blaring, triumph in her voice. Calling already? Where's that backbone from this afternoon? Like before, I would have apologized, begged, said anything to appease her. Now I just said flatly, your stuff is at your door. Remember to get it. Rachel grew more smug. Connor, buying me gifts to apologize? Still playing hard to get? Sent messages saying you won't see me? Now you know to grovel? I hung up without responding. Before I could block her, she managed one. Last message. She heard me say something about checking if she liked the gift before forgiving me. I laughed bitterly. Years of being her doormat had erased my dignity in her eyes. But she'd learn. That day forward, I never contacted Rachel again. Deleted her number, blocked her on everything. Friends would invite me out, I'd always ask if Rachel would be there. Eventually, everyone understood to only invite one of us. The day before our college reunion, Mike called excitedly about attending. As valedictorian, I'd received an invitation. But Rachel would be there too. She'd been stellar in school, later helped with campus recruitment. Of course they'd invited her. Scanning the program with Mike, I immediately spotted Rachel's name. She was performing 7th. During the 6th act, I made my excuses and left. Leaving the auditorium, I heard someone calling me. I didn't turn around. My phone buzzed with a message from our old professor. Connor, why the rush? Your girlfriend's performing next. Aren't you staying? Thanks, professor. Emergency came up. Also, I'm single, no girlfriend. I shook my head. My desperate college years meant even professors knew about Rachel and me. The professor was with Rachel when she saw my reply. In the dim auditorium lights, her expression was unreadable. After leaving campus, I went to the office. I'd left so quickly I'd forgotten my laptop. At the office, I found a partnership proposal on my desk. The partner company was Rachel's. I called my boss immediately and resigned. Boss, I'm resigning for personal reasons. Connor, this is sudden. I was planning to have you lead this project. Sorry, boss. I can't work with that company. I typed my resignation letter and left it on the desk. Since the company was partnering with Rachel, the best way to avoid her was to quit. Back at my apartment, I noticed the hallway light was on. This was a 2-unit floor, and nobody lived next door. Then I saw Rachel in the stairwell, smoking. The ground was littered with cigarette butts. She'd been waiting a while. Fortunately, she hadn't noticed me. I immediately pressed the elevator button. Rachel emerged just as the doors were closing. I heard her screaming, Connor Matthews. Is that you? You're in the elevator, aren't you? Once downstairs, I hit every button to slow her pursuit. Not ethical, but effective. Rachel was guarding my apartment, so I went to a nearby hotel. Just as I was checking in, Rachel burst through the doors. Panting, sweat dripping, face flushed from running. Did someone just check in? Was it Connor Matthews? Tell me. Answer me. I froze on the stairs, afraid the receptionist would give me away. Thankfully, the upscale hotel staff were professional. I'm sorry, that's confidential guest information. Rachel lost it completely, abandoning her usual composure. Privacy my ass. I'm his girlfriend. I have the right to know. I laughed bitterly. Girlfriend? Such a foreign concept. In all these years, Rachel had never once said she liked me, let alone called herself my girlfriend. Ma'am, you can call him. If he's here, he can give you his room number and you can go up. The receptionist's professional response left Rachel speechless. She stood frozen for a long moment. I'd blocked her everywhere. How could she call me? I didn't hear the rest, carefully sneaking upstairs. In bed, Mike called excitedly asking what I'd done to Rachel. You should have heard her on the phone. She actually asked if you were with me. That bitch is finally getting what she deserves. Don't go soft now. I was surprised too. This was the first time in years she'd shown this much interest. Actually tracking down Mike to find me. Don't worry. Not this time. I just saw her guarding my apartment, so I'm hiding in a hotel. Don't tell her where I am. The next day at work, a colleague called. Connor, why'd you suddenly quit? You didn't even say goodbye. Personal stuff. Had to leave quickly. My colleague's voice dropped. Connor, someone came looking for you first thing this morning. Said she was a business partner. Searched the whole company asking about you. When she heard you quit last night, she ran off without signing contracts. Said she'd only sign with you. Boss is probably calling you soon. Sure enough, my boss called immediately. I knew Rachel using contracts to force me out. Too bad I'd already quit. Their contracts weren't my problem. I silenced my phone and went back to sleep. When I woke, my phone was flooded with missed calls and messages. Texts from Mike and friends. Calls from unknown numbers, obviously Rachel borrowing phones. I blocked them all and posted on social media. I'm fine. Just done with certain people and things from my past. Mike called immediately to complain. Connor, you finally answered. Rachel's lost it. His voice was exhausted. After hearing the story, I couldn't help laughing. Rachel had contacted everyone who knew me. When that failed, she harassed Mike, calling from midnight to dawn. When he didn't answer, she showed up at his door. She's insane. I told her you weren't here. She insisted you were hiding at my place, demanded I let her search. I laughed helplessly. No wonder everyone was asking if I was okay. I kept the hotel room another night, planning to wait things out. That evening, security confirmed Rachel was still camping outside my apartment. She'd almost tackled him, thinking he was me. The security guard called to persuade me, Mr. Matthews, your girlfriend knows she was wrong. Forgive her. All those cigarette butts, she'll get sick. Prophetic words. Within days, Mike told me Rachel was hospitalized. Camping outside my apartment for nights, plus the cold weather fever sent her to the hospital. Apparently she called my name even while unconscious. I couldn't help smirking. After playing me all these years, now she wants to play the devoted lover? Friends kept hinting I should visit her, but I refused. I could picture Rachel in her hospital bed, sending people to guilt me into visiting. With her hospitalized, I could finally go home. Just after checking out, my phone buzzed. Derek, Connor Matthews, you think playing hard to get will make Rachel love you? She's just not used to you being gone. Once she adjusts, you'll see you mean nothing to her. I'd forgotten to block Derek. I didn't care about his taunts anymore, just blocked him too. Finally home, I just laid down when Mom called. She'd heard from Rachel's mom about the hospitalization. I honestly said I didn't know much. Mom was surprised. Aren't you and Rachel together? How don't you know she's sick? I immediately denied it. We're not together. Haven't seen her in ages. Don't start rumors, I need to find a girlfriend eventually. After a pause, Mom's voice rose excitedly. It took effort to deflect her questions. I knew Rachel's gained pressure from family to make me visit. Sure enough, Mom called the next morning. Rachel was seriously ill, her parents too busy to care for her, so they'd asked me, her childhood sweetheart, to help. I refused outright. Mom, stay out of it. Rachel has a boyfriend. He'll take care of her. I'd just be in the way. I'm busy. Got to go. I hung up before she could respond. I thought that would end it. But Rachel pulled out all the stops to make me appear. Her doctor called, asking if I was family. I denied it repeatedly, said I barely knew her. On the phone, Rachel's weak voice struggled to speak. Connor, I know it's you. How can you say you don't know me? We were about to get married. Why are you suddenly ignoring me? I'm sick because of you. Can't you feel sorry for me? Her voice became hoarse with tears. I need surgery. Can't you see? Me once more. What if I die on the operating table? Doctors and nurses reassured her it was minor surgery. I stayed silent until the doctor said they needed family consent. First, I'm not family. Second, her surgery has nothing to do with me. Third, she has a boyfriend. Call him. Rachel heard that. She screamed hysterically, calling my name. I don't. You're my boyfriend. We were just about to get married. Connor, did you forget? I hadn't forgotten. Being played for a fool 7 times, how could I forget? I hung up, done with her screaming. Mike called that night, impressed by my resolve. Days later, Rachel's mom called, crying. Connor, did you and Rachel fight? I heard you haven't seen her in a while. And you didn't visit when she was sick, wouldn't even take the doctor's calls. Rachel's mom had always been good to me, cooking for us throughout school. When Rachel first stood me up, her mom had slapped Rachel all night after finding out. She'd hugged me saying, Connor, you're the only son-in-law I'll accept. I'll disown her if she doesn't marry you. I'd hidden that Rachel loved Derek, not me, out of selfishness. But not this time. I'm sorry, Mrs. Thompson. Rachel has her boyfriend with her. She doesn't need me. And the doctor needed family consent for surgery we're not related. That signature isn't mine to give. I took a deep breath, making my voice firmer. For anything about Rachel, please contact her boyfriend. I don't want misunderstandings. Mrs. Thompson, I have to go. After that, no one called about Rachel again. Before New Year's, Mike dragged me to a party. Someone mentioned visiting Rachel in the hospital. Friends who knew the situation glanced at me. She no longer affected me at all. You guys go. We're not close. No connection. Afterward, I went home for the holidays. My high school classmates kept organizing reunions. At the last one, I arrived late. Outside the door, I heard Rachel's name. Rachel, you and Connor were inseparable. Childhood sweethearts. Why aren't you married yet? Yeah, we all thought you'd marry right after college. I had my hand on the door handle but stopped. After a long silence, Rachel mumbled something about soon. The classmates started teasing her. I turned to leave. The door opened. Our class president saw me, delighted. Connor. We were just talking about you. Your childhood sweetheart Rachel's here too. If she's here, I'm leaving. Got something else. I turned and left without hesitation. Outside the restaurant, I heard rapid footsteps behind me. I ducked into an alley as Rachel ran past, chasing ahead. She kept calling my name. Connor, come out. Why are you hiding from me? It's been 3 months. Why won't you see me? Connor Matthews, please come out. A passing man wore the same color jacket as me. Rachel, desperate, threw herself at him. She got slapped and surrounded by people threatening to call the police for assault. In the chaos, I slipped away. Rachel saw me leaving and screamed my name. Connor, don't go. Wait for me. She tried to reach me but was trapped by the crowd. I didn't know or care what happened next. At home, Mom complained I'd been out every day since returning. I hugged her, promising to eat at home tomorrow. The next day, seeing an extra play setting, I asked why. Rachel's mom said. She's back. Haven't seen her in ages. Invited her for dinner to check on her health. I frowned, grabbed some food, claimed I'd already eaten, and left. Just outside our neighborhood, I ran into Rachel arriving. I hid in the community garden. I found Rachel arguing with Derek. Derek had caught up from behind, blocking her path. Rachel, why are you ignoring me? For Connor? You played him 7 times. No one would forgive that. Rachel's face twisted, eyes bulging. Shut up. If you tell anyone, I'll destroy you. Derek laughed maniacally. Scared now? Where was that fear when you were all over me? Now you want your childhood sweetheart back. Too late, Rachel. Connor knows everything. Why else would he disappear and cut all ties? Rachel slapped Derek to the ground. Derek fought back, grabbing at her clothes. I watched the show unfold. Eventually, neighbors separated them. Rachel muttered incoherently, looking deranged. Still, she wouldn't leave, fixing her clothes and continuing to my house with her gift box. After that, I carefully tracked Rachel's whereabouts. Anywhere she went, I avoided. Even on New Year's Eve, when I heard she'd visit, I made excuses and left. Missing New Year's Eve dinner was worth avoiding her. Mom later said Rachel had cried until she nearly passed out. Crying, sorry, saying she regretted everything, promising never to bother me again. I laughed and told Mom not to worry about it. After New Year's, I moved to another city. On the train, I unexpectedly met Mrs. Thompson. She looked haggard, aged considerably with visible gray hair. Seeing me, she said. Nothing. She knew everything from Rachel. She just touched my forehead gently. Rachel didn't deserve you, Connor. You did the right thing. I didn't know what to say, finally managing just, take care of yourself. I didn't ask about Rachel. Didn't care. For the next 10 years, we never met again. Mike mentioned she'd bought my old apartment. She'd go to the courthouse sometimes, waiting all day. Too bad there's no cure for regret. End.